Hello everybody, once more. Sorry for my poor Serbian language, because today I understood that working in Copenhagen on this initiative, I have to learn, besides English, Danish language for our meetings in Paris and UN office in Paris, French language, Germany, and also Serbian. I understand maybe 20% of Serbian because I know Russian very well, but not always I can understand everything 100%. So sorry for my speech. If I can present in English, I will try to present in English, okay? So today I would like to talk about energy efficiency according to Energy Efficiency Directive, how to decrease energy consumption for final energy consumer. This case is from European Union, Baltic states, analyzed this Lithuanian case, Vilnius city case, and I will present advantages, disadvantages, possible financial solutions. So, as energy consumption increases, energy efficiency measures must be found and implemented, and of course, Energy Efficiency Directive aims to decrease energy consumption for final consumer by 1.5% annually. But of course, this directive do not define how to achieve these measures. So we are free to investigate and to develop our methodologies, principle, technical solutions. So it's good and bad. So today I will present analysis how these targets can be reached by the means of individual smart heat metering for every flat, decreasing energy consumption for final customers, because this to decrease consumption by 1.5%, it's only for final customers. We're not talking about boiler houses, heat production. We do not talk about distribution. We're talking about what is in a building level. But we do not talk about insulation, partitions, replacement of windows. So statistical analysis of identical buildings with heat cost allocators and without them will be presented. In principle, heat cost allocator do not decrease energy consumption by itself. So this article presents how these technical solutions and additional equipment can be installed, and final results show that the potential is up to 20–30%. In average is 25% potential with a probability of 95%. So while world fuel prices take high place, this is very important to decrease energy consumption and extremely for primary energy. And for this reason, European Union identified Energy Efficiency Directive. The aim is to obligate member states to introduce the energy sector to improve energy efficiency measures, to help ensure the most effective use of produced energy. In Lithuania, it is very important and sensitive question, because residents spends considerably higher part of his income compared to other Europe countries. If you talk about poverty level, so usually in Europe Union, if residents pay less than 10% from income, we say, okay, it's quite a good price. Price is not a lot, but if we pay more than 10% for bills for energy, that comes into energy poverty. For example, average salary in Lithuania is, okay, maybe in Vilnius city, about 800 euros per month, 900 euros per month. Retirement pension can be maybe 220 euros. But sometimes retired people get bills for heating 150 euros per month. So, okay, you pay 150 euros per month for heating, plus electricity, plus something else, okay, but you have to buy food and whatever it is. So this question is very sensitive in Lithuania. Talking about buildings, we have two groups, individual one-family buildings and multi-flat buildings. We don't have big problems with one-family buildings because they can heat wherever we would like. It can be gas, biofuel, wood, coal, wherever it is. We can shut down heating during night time, whatever it is. But if you live in a multi-apartment building and you are connected to district heating, you cannot to heat your premises by individual gas boiler or other means. So the price should be very, very clear and not very, very high. The price, total price, of course, depends from two constituents. One is price of heat energy and another is amount of consumed heat. If price of heat energy depends on fuel mix, how much we use gas, biofuel, so we can decrease this price. And for example, we had a lot of projects. We installed biofuel boiler houses, and sometimes in some cities we have converted 100% of fuel from gas to biofuel. So if average price can be like 7-8 euro cents per kilowatt hour, so after conversion to biofuel, prices decrease even to 4-5 euro cents per kilowatt hour. If using natural gas, it can be from 7 to 10 euro cents. So that means the price even can be twice bigger. If you use biofuel, it can be 5 euro cents. If you use in another city 100% of gas, mainly from Russia, it can be up to 10%. So the difference is twice. In this energy efficiency directive, great attention is paid to improve energy efficiency in the public sector. Even higher targets and obligations are provided to enable end users itself to regulate this energy consumption, as buildings are responsible even for 40% of total final energy consumption. And talking about energy efficiency directive, maybe most important are 3 articles, number 7, 9, and 10. So number 7 indicates savings, annual savings 1.5% of final end user energy. Section number 9 defines individual consumption and metering, that every final end user you have to install heat meters if it's not impossible to install heat meters, because in Soviet period time multi-flat buildings with one pipe systems sometimes is quite difficult. So even heat cost allocators can be installed instead of heat meters. Section number 10 talks about obligation. Invoicing must be based on actual consumption. That means every month you have to take readings from your heat meter data on the last day, on the last hour, and the last minute. Like before, 5 years ago, for example, all readings were taken maybe 3 to 5 days before the last day of a month. Because it can be weekend, maybe it can be holidays, like 1st of November we have a holiday for a few days. Beside that we have weekend, so it can be up to 5 days difference. So 1 month you can invoice from 1st of December to 28th of December, only 28 days. Another bill can be from 1st to maybe plus 2 days from another. So section number 10 obligates that every invoice should be according to actual energy consumption. And also obligation to install self-reading system that allows communicate readings from consumer meter to energy supplier. That means to install smart metering system for all district heating network. Also to provide for consumers information about historical consumption, at least 3 previous years. So I don't know how you today in Belgrade provide if someone comes and say, okay, please give me data of last 3 years about energy consumption in my building. Is it a big issue, or you have to take papers and to find everything? I don't know how it's going, but we are going according to this directive to informational data management smart system, and maybe you can have a website. If you are a client, you just open, and all data in a website. But of course, not every city have installed these systems, because it's not easy. It needs investment and different technologies. Talking about methodology for actual energy consumption evaluation. If you want to talk about energy efficiency, we have to talk about actual consumption, not only theoretical, so it can be define special methodology. We can define special amount of energy used per 1 square meter of building, per 1 degree day, per one square meter, to eliminate all other factors like outside temperature, and having this indicator, we can compare different buildings. 2 buildings at the same heating season, 1 building with another building few heating seasons ago. Principle about these energy evaluation classes. First is like the best, 15 worst. So the targets of energy efficiency directive in district heating sector can be implemented by application of technical energy efficiency means, and of course complete combination package allows to access the most energy efficient way. For us, it's most important to distinguish the minimal measures that enable to achieve energy efficiency at the minimum level, because we can put everything inside building, different sensors in every room. It will be like cosmical spaceship, but needs maybe too much investment. So we have to define what minimum measures we have to put to achieve these energy savings. As I said, analysis shows that installing individual heat meters, heat cost allocators, for example, for multi-flat buildings and for water consumption, final customers has potential to decrease energy consumption by 25%. So I talk about the same buildings, not insulated, the same construction type, with the same partitions. Here, statistical analysis, that you can see probability of 95%, and the difference 25%. So potential savings for minimal energy efficiency can be achieved in the next table, specified technical means. Minimal investments is about 15 euros per square meters. For Baltic states, it will be like 900 euros per typical apartment. Typical apartment is about 60 square meters. I don't know, in Belgrade it will be also 55, 50 square meters. Yeah. So I present this data just having in mind that we maybe can compare this model, how it would work in Belgrade case. Maybe what kind of investment we need in Belgrade, is it possible from technical side or not. People talk that it's quite difficult to reconstruct these systems, that you can make this per one day. You can go to one flat to install thermostatic valve, connection pipe, to put the heat cost allocator maybe per 3-4 hours, so it's not a big issue. And these 25% savings got taking into consideration that balancing valves for heat and hot water are installed, smart intelligent wireless monitoring system and data collection system is installed, hot water metering for each final customer are installed. So 15 euros per square meters includes everything except heat substation. So if we have reconstructed heat substation, so we have potential for 25%. If heat substation is not reconstructed, so we have even bigger potential. It can be 35%, or even up to 40%. Here you can see the possible potential measures, also the minimal measures, what you have to do at least to achieve these results. So to implement Energy Efficiency Directive, different scenarios must be evaluated. It depends on economic investment plan. So the total final energy consumption goal for electricity, gas and heat sectors by 2020 is 2,600 gigawatt hours. Heat sector provides 1/3, 33%, so that means 870 gigawatt hours of final energy consumption. And the annual savings during this period can be 145 gigawatt hours. So talking about obligations, so here you can see total obligation for Lithuania to save, and the heat sector takes 1/3. Here you can see investments and accumulated savings. If you will perform energy efficiency means first year, second year, to the 2020, and Lithuanian Energy Agency presented that possible maybe savings can be 3,045 gigawatt hours to up to 2020. Talking about district heating sectors, different scenarios were analyzed. Three main scenarios. If we will reconstruct 100% of multi-flat buildings connected to district heating systems, and if investments are instant per one time. Another scenario is if we implement for 100% of buildings, but of course it's not possible to reconstruct everything instantly, so maybe investments per 3 years. And if we will take these technical measures for 50% of buildings, and not instantly, but per following 3 years. So 3 main scenarios. So according to first scenario, we can see that possible savings is 4,000 gigawatt hours in total. So obligation is for heating only 800, and we can save 4,000. So it's more than for all gas, electricity, transport, and heating sector. So we can achieve these obligations only by one distinct heating sector. So we don't need to invest in transport and in gas, electricity. We can do everything just by distinct heating. Of course, it's not impossible to reconstruct this per one day. So it's like theoretical scenarios potential. Second one is if we will take 50% of buildings and investments are instant. Why I take 50%? Because sometimes you ask residents, would you like to install VCs and reconstruct? They say maybe. I don't want, I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no. Okay, let's take not 100% of buildings, just half of them, 50%. Okay. In this case also we can save 2,000 gigawatt hours, then our target is only 800. And the third scenario is maybe more realistic. Okay, let's take just half of building, 50%, and maybe investments we can put per 3 years. So of course we cannot save per first year everything, but we can save 1,700, then our target is only 800. So more than twice. So I think it's very good technical mean to achieve targets for Lithuanian government. So in conclusion, I can say that Energy Efficiency Directive defined different articles. Section number 7 defines 1.5 annual savings for final customer. What can be done in building? Section 9 and 10 defines the installation of individual heat metering for every final customer and invoicing. So these obligations can be reached quite easily, implementing technical means, installing individual heat metering for every final customer, the reconstruction of internal heating and hot water system in multi-apartment buildings has a potential to decrease energy consumption for final customer by about 25%. So targets for energy efficiency directives can be reached applying technical measures only in heat energy sectors. So our sector is quite strong and we can take a leading role. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Savickas. I will ask the persons now. Dalimo pitanje. Okay, please.
I took analysis from buildings because I've got data from every building and exact data for energy consumption from first day to last day, last hour, last minute, exact date for hot water, because in Baltic states we preheat hot water not by electricity, but also by district heating. So all these data are known, and after that got exact data just for heating and analyzed the same buildings, the same project type buildings. So we compare the same buildings, because problem is that sometimes people perform comparison, but buildings are not identical. This replaced windows, maybe this replaced doors, this, maybe analysis is just of 3 buildings. What kind of analysis you can perform of 3 buildings? Per 3, if you have 3 points, per 3 points you can draw a line, but also you can draw a circle. So you need maybe 100 of buildings, 1,000 of buildings. In Vilnius case, is installed smart metering system, so we can take all data immediately, last day, last hour, and perform this kind of analysis. Actually, not theoretical, like energy performance certificates. They are quite good, but they are just theoretical. Yeah, so these numbers are different, and that's why I perform statistical analysis with probability of 2 sigma rule. 2 sigma, that's mean 95%, because in some cases I've got results 40% savings. It depends on building. I know few buildings, they keep inside premises temperature 16 degrees. It's prohibited. You have to keep at least 18 degrees. So if they have 16 degrees, you can install wherever you like. Smart metering, your savings will be 0. That I show in average, typical building, typical consumer, and biggest part of all consumers.
Thank you. Your presentation is quite detailed and has a lot of figures, so it will take us some time to go through this, and I'm sure that we can contact you. There is your contact at the back for any additional questions. So thank you very much for your presentation, and hope to see you around.